Right, and let's start with the DAX. Very sloppy day, and well, I mean, if you look at the 15-minute chart on this over the last week, we've just been dancing around. Since we came up here on the 29th, we have just been dancing around this range of well, not far off 100 pips since, in all of October. So it's really choppy, not knowing where it wants to go. If we look at the 15-minute chart on this DAX, then we have any trend lines. Got a trend line coming under here. Got to 13,000 is decent resistance. So if I just keep the naked 15-minute chart on, you will see that we are just 35 pips off the round number. So if we come down to 950 and hold, then you might want to buy at 950. The euro yen did eventually go, but only at tea time last night. It's a really choppy day. All we've got today is Fed. Let me just double check. I don't think there's any other data today. Got a speaker at 1. Job openings at 3. No, it just literally is focused on Fed. So I think we've got more of the same. 4-hour chart, you will see that we are flat. Notice how the MACD has come down. We have made contact with the 200 moving average there. On the 1 hour, you can see we've made contact with the 200 there. We're literally on the Sunday open. So we are in this tight little range. In fact, if I range, that is Sunday's open. So far. So any dip this trend line is sort of old now, so I think expect another dip into that range, 900 area. If you want to buy this, obviously you want to get as low as you possibly can. So I think 900. We talked about 905 yesterday. It turned about 907. So it makes life a little bit difficult. So what about the US dollar, yen? That came into support last night as well. No, don't like the daily on that. That's not very good. Pound yen. Now, yeah, let's have a look at these, because I think that the Sunday open at 758 is going to be a target. I think this could get to 758. We've got this buy signal here at 4 o'clock yesterday. So 795 to 758 is a buy zone for me. this is a cleaner chart. We've now got this little trend line going. So it's possible we may just sit on that one. We may dip down to 794 and hold on that one. Otherwise, Euro Yen has gone up a gear. So 237 is a gap fill. We may see the same as yesterday. I think what's probably going to happen is I think we'll drift along. Actually, let's look at the DAX as that's pushing up. Right, I haven't even ranged it. I'm chatting too much. Stop chatting and start marking. Bullish consolidation just looks as if it needs to dip down and find some support. So the gap fill would make sense. Could you short this from up here? Yeah, the trouble is the MACD on the hourly is very low. Stochastics on 15 minutes is low. So scope for a short is, according to the indicators, limited. Let's look at the bigger picture in a second. Nasdaq is flat. Let's get some daily charts on. So Nasdaq's sitting above resistance but very flat. The Dow is hitting that trend line very flat. DAX, as we've seen, is sitting up on those highs very flat. Oil has been a much better mover this week. So any test of 50.30 is a potential buy to get to 55.80. Any other pairs? That looks good on a pullback. The pound yen looks the same on a pullback. Pound Aussie, pound US. So had a good couple of days. I still don't think it's found its feet. I still think may see some lower numbers in that one. And that I think we'll just leave alone. Right. Back to the DAX. We're creeping up a little bit. Wow, it's slow, isn't it? I think it's going to be slow all day. Hugging this moving average, aren't we, on the 15-minute? So the risk-reward ratio on the short isn't actually worth it. Hang on. We have actually got a lower, I was going to say a sell signal on the hourly. Well, it's a lower close. Okay, starting to see some momentum. It is a buy signal after all. If we, I would much rather this gap filled. We have triggered along. This has been very buoyant. I want a gap fill. If we're going to trade this, I want a gap fill like that. It's not prepared to get in up there. Otherwise, my next best chart is pound yen. So I like this one because this is very close to the big number one, 800. So if we dip under, come into this gap fill, dip under the 800 mark, then I'm in. So I think my two favourite charts, well, the two charts I think we should look at, they're not necessarily brilliant charts, is the DAX and the pound yen. So rather than stick the fibs on this, I would rather stick a trend line. So that little trend line is pointing to 800, which is the number we've just been talking about. If I show you what I'm seeing on the 4 hour, you will see this 782 is this massive support from July highs. $700 will put us in touch with that 200 moving average. What's the case for a sell? Yeah, we've actually got a sell candle here overnight. We're close to the top of this channel. I'm just going to draw that channel a bit closer because that's not quite right. Certainly, if we, well, let's look at it on a smaller time frame for a sell level. The 60-minute chart has had 3 hours of lower closes. DAX isn't doing anything. Dollar pairs were better yesterday. Let's look at dollar. Let's look at US dollar. Okay, so we've got a buy signal on this one with a gap above us. So let's line this one up. Wow, risk-reward ratio is awful. If that came back to the floor, 184, that would just about give us, yeah, that would give us our scalper score target if we hit the gap, if we filled. DAX I can see is drifting lower. I think the target entry for this is 172. Because let's see, and we bust up from this area here yesterday. These were actually much better performers than this. Was the better performer in the Euro session. So I would like to buy this ideally lower than this. Ideally, yeah, 172 would be the 200-day moving average. So I'd like to see this dip out of this area and then potentially come back in. But yeah, bigger picture, I would love to see this test yesterday's low at 774 again and then get bought. Okay, so this is better for a we are at a lofty height on these dailies, but they do not seem to want to crack. Dips continue to get bought. My big mistake on this yesterday was not shorting the gap fill. I was right, but got in too early, unfortunately. But having survived and kept so high, I will be much more interested in a dip. 60-minute support is 940. Yeah, Euro pound yen is drifting lower. I think this would have been shortable if I got higher up. At the moment, this is just finding support. I certainly can't short right in front of the gap fill. Is this buyable after the gap fill? Yeah, we'll see. I can't find a trade, so anybody got any questions? what I might do is just look at some different markets. For example, we haven't looked at gold, and that might lead us to look at what is happening on the Aussie dollar. Okay, so the floor is coming. Would I buy this? Yeah, okay, on the gap fill. Right, let me just look around the charts. We'll look at 4 hour. I'll keep an eye on the DAX. I think that is a buy down here. Yeah, 850, 840, 850 is the potential buy on that one. I think we might see a repeat of this. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very neat 5-way move. 1, 2. This is potentially a 3-wave correction. So that's wave 1, and wave 2 would put us back on this trend line, and wave 3, who knows? So this is a very, very neat 3-wave. So 5-wave. That's the 3-wave correction. So that's our 5. That's our 3. So we're back to. So that's 1. This is potentially 2, and 3 could start here. So I would definitely be later in the day or week. I would definitely be interested in that one. DAX on the 4 hour we talked about. Let's look at it again. We almost touched the trend line, just a bit shy of the trend line yesterday at 905, or 900 would be much better, obviously. So I think a good sweep to these lows here, 898, would be better. So I'll be looking out for that number. Just coming into 950 now. Don't often look at pound CAD. Let's see if there's anything in that one. So I'm still watching what the DAX is doing. Yeah, I don't like it. Okay, we've got a bit more action on the DAX now, so let's go back to that. Because we're just coming to gap fill. I think it's just a question. I think today it's going to be a question of being very patient and talking about maybe later in the morning, maybe even right after the Fed announcement. Not much to go really. Talked about the strength in this one, Euro Pound. Talked about that when it was down there at 87.50, currently 89.50. So I called that one on the end of September. That is just hitting a resistance level. Well, I just concentrate on the DAX. We're very close to a gap fill, so let's hope we get a drop under gap fill, and let's hope we get a trade. Because I can't see anything else. I'll just check my other screen to see if the FTSE's put a trade in. Very similar as you expect. So I'm just looking at looking at the euro yen on the other screen. Just need deeper pullbacks. Right, let's look at this DAX because I'm getting a bit more energy in the markets. Let's just look at. Hopefully, this will get to 50. So let's just look at gold. Gold had a really good non-farm payroll, and it's not dipped back since. I think gold's a buy at 12.75. I think I will alarm that. If we look at this 60-minute chart, that's the Sunday open. We're floundering now. We did this before. We pushed up, hit resistance, and sold. We've had a good push up, and we're certainly drifting. So it's a question of pulling back into support, I think. potentially getting another leg up to 13. So I would be interested in 12.75. Now that's the sort of thing that I think you'll see tonight. Right, so DAX is perked up. That's a bearish 15-minute bar though, so I'm not interested in that. I think what I'm going to do is just wait until the hour is over and done with. I think it's a good idea to be distrusting of charts that have not gap filled. It's a good habit to be in, because if chart markets find that anchor from the previous day, they've got a much better chance of pushing up. So I definitely would want to see that happen on this one, and I want to see it happen on this one. I think, yeah, this is more likely. Let's carry on watching the DAX and stop flicking around, because it's not doing me any good. Right, so we're 35 minutes into the London session, and I'm seeing pretty small moves. This is since London opened, this is a 53, just about a 20 pip range in 35 plus minutes. So it's pretty pathetic. And we are just clinging on, not doing much else. So I think I will wait till the top of the hour. I think I'll talk to you at 1:45, but at the moment on my target today is Euro, pound yen at 7.95, DAX at 940/50, and then see if either one of those two can pick up and give us a move. Saving my charts. Anybody actually taken a trade? Any of you guys actually taken a trade? We should see quite a lot of movement today at Fed. So I think what I might do is shut the room early and just trade the Fed. I'll certainly keep it open till about 9:30, but otherwise I think I'll just open for the Fed and look for these levels in gold. Yeah, I think a lot of people are waiting for the right entry levels or better entry levels on these markets. So we are definitely seeing some drifting. Yeah, like I said, I think the ideal target on this one would be 900. So what do I think is going to happen Fed. I think the Fed will repeat what they always say. We are monitoring inflation. The need for another interest rate is approaching, but we're not there yet. We need more inflation data. Now, bear in mind, non-farm payroll was quite tame last Friday. I think the market will take it that we are still a little bit distance from the next rate rise. And so any deep flush out in these indices, i.e. 900 on this one, could get bought. And that could mean the euro and the pound fly. With the yen, that might not move as much. It might be that we'll see much more movement on the pound and the euro. Yeah. I think this market is definitely frothy. If we go back to the daily on this one, this market is definitely frothy. Let me just take all this back. On Monday, we talked about these three channels and how from the beginning of the year into June, we were in this top channel. Now we're in this bottom channel, not looking as if we're going to struggle to get out. And I think we are, at the very least, if you look at the way the if you look at the way the market behaved, when the market was pushed up here, let me get a different color. Let's get a light green. When the market, no, that's no good. When the market pushed up here, the one main thing that held it together was the 20 and 50-day moving average. Now the 20 and 50-day moving average, or certainly the 20, is even down here. So we are very frothy based on moving averages. How many people in the room love moving averages? So we saw a top there, top there. Anybody like moving averages? So when we saw some red and distance from the 20, we at least pulled back. So distance from the 20, pull back. We are some distance from the 20 here. So at the very least, I think we need to come in contact with that. Well, there is, let's see. I was going to say there's a divergence, there isn't. We are very high RSI, very high stochastics. 20 and 200 are great. A little knot of moving averages down here. So we're definitely not, as far as I can see, we're not missing anything, by the way. So we are definitely looking as it, and typically seasonally, you would see a dip in October and then you get the Christmas rally. So the Christmas rally could take us up to the top of this channel, 13.8, 1400. But I think, yeah, you'll see we are definitely struggling up here. So where, if to short it, I think we'd need another test of, blimey, just about tested the resistance levels already. Let's try. Yeah, so if we pop above 13,000, typically these markets love to play around with a big number. I think if we get above the 13,000, so let's say we do 13,050, then I think this market could, this one could pull back. Right, I'm going to put I will put the fibs on this, because if we get an extension set up tonight, I would want to trade that. I'll talk to you about data trades in a minute. Yeah. $20-day moving averages is one of my favorites. If you want to look at the trend in anything in bigger time frames, 20-day moving averages is a good one. Okay, so we have a sell signal at 828. We've got a reversal bar in the 15-minute chart, and this is looking lower. So if we're going to short this, I would want to short on a retest of 828. Note how we are just coming into some overnight support here. So I think if we see 843 and we hold, I think this is a buy. Should have been shorting these highs. Yes, I should. I'm just looking to see if this is shortable. I'll come back to the DAX in a second. That's a reasonable distance off its gap. That's toying with yesterday's high. That's not accurate. It's not toying with yesterday's high. If we get back to 287, I think this might be a short. I think we can maybe get a short out of this. DAX is toying with 50. Got some decent sellers bars on this 15-minute chart, so I'm going to short 287. And see if I can get a gap fill. I'm going to retest. Of course, if it closes above 287, then this could even be a bull run, intraday bull run. But at the moment, I'm going to go with the sell signals and just get short higher up. So a little spike into 85, 87. Just not far off the top of the hour. Let's see if we can get a push higher. Okay, I'm going to get short here. I mean, it's quite a tight. Oh, it wants me to do a bigger stop. Hang on. Okay, I'm short here. Didn't get the best fill because I had to adjust my stop. Okay, so looking for, initially I'm going to put it on the gap fill. $241, just above. Right, let's see if I can get 35, 40 pips out of this one. So it's triggered short at 283 anyway. It's a tight stop. So the first bar was a seller's bar anyway. So we've got the 200 underneath us, which is a bit close, but the gap is far enough away to tempt me to try and get that filled. We look as if we're about to get a sell signal on the 1 hour chart. and we are at the 20-day moving average on the daily, under it. So the DAX is not holding 950 at the moment. These yen pairs have been quite thin, hence the erratic moves we had yesterday. So let's see if we can get a drop out of this one. DAX continues to drift a little lower. Pound yen's holding up okay. Euro, pound US are doing alright, they're holding up. DAX is just ticking underneath that 950. Okay, I'll go quiet until we get past the hour and see where we are at that stage. Okay, we've got a very bearish 60-minute chart. We've engulfed the previous hour's trading. The fade is at the moment working, and we have rejected yesterday's highs. So the prospect for a gap fill is higher. On the other side, the DAX is just dithering. So we've gap filled with a very bearish 60-minute bar looking lower. Pound US is perking up. That's a very bullish 60-minute bar. So if we see a fade later in the day, if we see 185, 200, 190, that might be a good option. The Euro US is pretty similar. Pound yen is in a very, very tight range. That's closed higher. That looks as if that could push up from here. DAX is at a key pivot, but looking lower at the moment. And my Euro yen is trying to hold. So to me it's a picture of weak dollar, but overall low volume and markets pulling back. I'm still happy with this trade because I think this one needs to do at least 250. But of course there's no certainties in trading, so I can't be sure of that. I will continue to keep an eye on what's going on, but not seeing any other trades. So if we've got a day of the dollar, i.e. Fed, should we be shorting the highs? Yeah, I showed you this chart pattern yesterday, didn't I? I've come out of this little funnel pattern. Let me just elaborate. So basically, we have come out of that trend line. Okay, so we're holding up at the moment, but we are underneath it. This is a buy signal in the 60-minute chart with a lot of overhanging resistance. So if we bump into these highs again, around about anything up to 250 to 260 and sell, I think we could roll over. In the meantime, this is getting bought. So let's see what that is going to do. So I'll update you on that as the day ticks by. DAX is trying to hold up. So it's a slow picture. I think this is the best potential trade that I can see at the moment. I think the bottom of this bar might get seen 230, but close above 285, 290, and I could be on the wrong side of this. Okay, I'm going to go quiet until at least 1/4 past, if not 1/2 past. Doesn't seem, let me just double check there's no data around. No. That's some very positive Japanese data at 7, so that would hopefully put some strength into the yen. If you look at this 60-minute bar, see last week this euro yen was stepped up to the 200 and sold off in a very similar pattern that I just showed you to the pound. It's another little intra-week funnel. We have an intra-week funnel at the moment. So that's why I think the prospect, probability that going lower is good to me. And 240, 250 is that trend line. So let's see. I'll talk to you in 10 minutes. Great. Just found the euro is getting a bit bid at the moment. um, so let's see what happens. Did I just getting too low or what? DAX is rubbish. Well, it's got a higher close. I think that will be. I think that'll be quite slow, but 246, 245. Pound is poor. Pound is looking lower to me, but I certainly haven't got a sell signal. So 220. If we see 220, 225, that might be a good short. So my stop is 98. We just closed above yesterday's high, so my chances of working are lower. Pound yen flapping around inside its range still. Just put in a lower sort of sell signal on that 15-minute chart. Wow, I happened to pick up the one that's just had a little spurt, haven't I? We have had a good couple of days out of this one. I'm going to leave it and see if it can work itself out. Certainly a lot of resistance up here. Otherwise, I don't think there's anything else to trade. So I'm going to go quiet and see if this works out, and then just think about Fed later on. Well, get on some work and then plan for Fed later on. This was really annoying yesterday because I thought this was a really nice buy yesterday. I thought that was really good. Held this all up, got into 260, and then just dropped right back and stopped me out. Now I'm short. It's perking up. Yeah, this is my nemesis this week, isn't it? At the moment. So we've got this little bit of resistance up here. Let's see if we poke back down again. Otherwise, that's going to be it for me today, or this morning anyway. I would definitely, I think this could be going down to at least 34, at least. And had we got short very high up, we would have got our target. Okay, I'll talk to you in 10 minutes, and I'm thinking about winding up because it looks like it's certainly a higher probability I'm going to get stopped out of this. At the moment, anyway. Could just be I got in a little bit too low, we'll see. Right, talk to you in 10. Okay, nothing's moving much. That's beginning to get a little bit of a pickup. We've certainly got a higher close on the 15-minute chart, but we're under all this cosh with low volume. Pound, it's had a little bit of a squirt. Looks as if that'll fade 190. Euro has got bid up for some reason. And I'm underwater on my Euro yen short. My stop is about 5-6 pips above this, so I'll stay in tune with that. I'm not going to do anything else. I think what I will do is I will open the room at 6:45. I'll post anything I see in the Skype room in the meantime. I still think this will work, but obviously it's lower probability of the fact we're closed above this 287. Maybe I'm being too optimistic. Maybe I am too pessimistic on this one. Much. Okay. I'll come back to you. I'll just leave the room open for another quarter of an hour and then see where we are. Otherwise, I will just shut shop and talk to you later. All right. Talk to you in a quarter of an hour. Okay guys, I'm stopped out of this. They just nicked me at the top. So I'm going to stand aside, and for some reason the euro is getting a bid, the pound's not. This euro pound yen is very sloppy, but pound US is better. So DAX is rubbish. Right, I'm going to walk away and update you later. So watch out for bulletins. Thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you later.